G'day everyone, welcome to another episode of the Purple Coloured Glasses. In this episode, I'll be going through my tips for round 23. How's Freo going to go in the last game before finals? And so we'll kick it off with the first match, Brisbane against Melbourne. And I'll be going for Melbourne in this one in a close game, 11 points. Brisbane record at the Gab has been really good. I think over the last year and a bit, they lost the semi-final there last year against the Doggies, and they lost to Essendon early this year when they had to make 10 changes for COVID. Melbourne have a really good record against Brisbane. I think they won 4 out of the last 6. I don't think they have any fears going up to the Gabba and playing Brisbane. I look at sort of like the team lineups and stuff. I think Adams is still out for the Lions, which is a big one for them. Melbourne's forward line's not that threatening, but I think their two-way running in their midfield will get the job done in this game. So we're going for the D's. A bit of an upset. As long as it's not a draw, it's good for Freo. And then Saturday morning or afternoon over in Canberra, Freo are playing the Giants. Teams have come out. Roy Lobb didn't get on the plane. He's not playing. And Darcy Tucker's also been admitted. Nat Fyfe and Lloyd Meek come into the team. Be interesting to see how they balance Darcy and Meek in the ruck and playing up forward. I think Meek's a really solid round the ground ruckman, but his sort of forward craft, goal kicking's not his strong suit. I think Darcy's got him covered easily in that area. But Darcy is also probably the better tap ruckman. I mean, he's been playing all year, so you do lose a bit when we sort of rotate those guys around. I think Fyfe will get the Sam Taylor matchup, which will be a tough day in the office for him, I think. Coming back from another injury layoff, Sam Taylor's been really good this year. He's been one of the best key defenders this year, I think. And could be a tough day. So I think we need to rely on guys like Freddie, Schultz, Witkowski to really contribute with a lot of goals this week. Griffin Logue sounds like he might be carrying a bit of a niggle as well. So I don't think we can rely on Darcy going forward and kicking 3 or Fyfe kicking 5. And so if they put up a good performance, the Giants, they have been a bit better in the last couple of weeks since they got roasted by their coach about not rocking up. If their best performance shows up, we'll need some goals from those guys. They have the potential of just capitulating, rolling over, and it doesn't really matter. We kick a cricket score on them, but that's not the sense I'm getting for this game. I think the Giants will have one last go. What sort of probably works in Freo's favour is they're not a really high-scoring, fast ball movement team, so I think our defence can really set up behind the ball, keep it to a low-scoring affair, and I think we only need 10, 11 goals to win this game. I'll be tipping Freo in this one. And hopefully other results go our way and we're finishing in the top 4. But we're at least guaranteed a home final somewhere along the line. And hopefully it's in week 3 of the finals. Then we have North Melbourne against Gold Coast. I'm tipping North. I've just got a bit of a gut feeling. It has nothing to do with me wanting West Coast to win the wooden spoon. I think Gold Coast have sort of tapered off a bit in the back end of the year. Not as bad as other seasons. I think it's more the injuries, wear and tear aspect to it, more than them just not being fit enough, I guess. And North, they played fairly well against Adelaide. They just didn't really make the most of their opportunities. They were poor with ball going inside 50. And I think they get this one done. I'm not sure if it's like the Clarko factor. Guys want to audition for places. They want to do it for Cunnington, who will be second game. They definitely have a chance in this one. And Gold Coast haven't travelled away from home that well this year. So I'm going to be tipping North. Come on, North. And then the next game, Geelong against West Coast. How many rusted on West Coast fans have tipped West Coast? 3.7%. So not only are West Coast playing the bogey side, they've got so many injuries they can think they're only playing two of their players in the waffle this week or something, against fellow bottom of the ladder team Perth. And if Perth win that game, there'll be enough of a gap, I think, that they can't really catch up with a number of games left in the waffle. So the West Coast treble wooden spoon it's on. The small mercy is that Jeremy Cameron is injured with his hamstring injury, probably misses out on winning the Coleman by kicking 15 goals. But Geelong have mauled good West Coast teams here. The only thing I think that saves West Coast from getting flogged by over 100 points is Geelong getting sort of, 40, 50 points up, just queuing the rack type stuff. Like, no one get injured. They're also 2 games clear at the top of the ladder, so they also might not come into the game with the greatest of intensity because they know they're going to finish first on the ladder regardless of what happens. So a bit of self-preservation might mean West Coast don't get beaten as badly as they might. Essendon against Richmond. Essendon prove again what a basket case they are this week, with sacking, but then not sacking the coach, and then President standing down, and then maybe getting Clarko, maybe not getting Clarko. It's just absolute mess. And Tigers, they're hitting a bit of patch of form, playing well, and I think they deal with Essendon quite easily. Just keep the foot on the throat, just keep going forward. There's talk about Lynch kicking a huge bag. Maybe. They'd have to be pretty bad, Essendon, I think, to let Lynch kick 8-10 goals and win the Coleman. But no, I think the Tigers get this done. Don't really see Essendon showing much. They might come out for 5-10 minutes, but I think it's got more of a get the season over and done with surrender type performance about it. And it'll be a shame for Hurley, who'll be playing his first game back in a long time, but also his last game. But yeah, there's not much to sort of indicate that Essendon will give much of a whelp. We then got the showdown. I've sort of forgotten there was a showdown this week. It's a bit of a shame because it's a dead rubber. Probably people in Adelaide wouldn't agree with that assessment. I'll be tipping Port. They're the better team on paper. Should have won the showdown earlier in the year. They gave up a 4-goal lead and a goal after the siren to lose. So this is Port's home showdown. I'll be going with Port. But the showdowns have been a bit more dynamic than the derbies. Adelaide have got a sniff, I reckon, in this one. They've got the weapons up forward to do some damage. And guys like Keys are having solid seasons, and Laird and Brody Smith, is it? Yeah, so they've got the players to win it. They're not like completely out of chances in this game, but I'll be going Port in this one. Just to sort of round out the year, which hasn't gone the way they've wanted, but I think they want to just get one over their rival to finish things off. We've then got the Sunday games. Down at UTAS, which I think is Launceston. Hawthorn against the Western Bulldogs. And I was reading some stats that the Dogs have only gone, I think, 1-4 against Hawthorn down here at UTAS. They don't like going down and playing Hawks. And I think the Hawks will want to bounce back from their loss last week. So this isn't a lay-down misere for the Doggies. They have to win to keep their finals chances alive. And I'll be tipping the Dogs. Not with huge confidence. They're not, absolutely flying. And if the Hawks actually take it up to them, I think they can rattle them a bit and put them under pressure. But no, I'll be going the Dogs. And then one of the biggest games of the round, Carlton against Collingwood. Would be really good if Carlton won to help Freo out, providing we win. But I'll be tipping Collingwood, and there's some good reasons why. First, if I tip Carlton, I'm pretty sure Collingwood will win. And so the best thing for Freo is to tip Collingwood, because when I've done that this year, they've typically found a way to lose, like last week. So I'll be tipping Collingwood to hopefully put the mockers on them. And if they don't, fail, I'll still get a correct tip. So, win-win all the way around. We'll be slightly disappointed, but I think Collingwood did find it tough against Sydney last week, but I don't know how many petrol tickets Carlton used up last week. Are they just going to regroup, recharge, go again? Or do they use a lot of energy in that game against Melbourne? And, it's an interesting one from the psyche side of things. Like, Collingwood just were, like, winning. And there was this belief, I think, where, like, you just can't lose. And it just kept coming off for them. And they've had the bubble burst a bit, but against a good side in Sydney, away from home, your confidence probably doesn't get dented too much, and you just sort of front up again and go, yeah, this is Carlton. We can prevent them playing finals when they've been in the top 8 all year, and we can knock them out in the last week of the season. So we're tipping the Pies. And then the last game, St Kilda against Sydney. So, Sydney. It's disappointing from St Kilda. Like, if they'd beaten Brisbane, they had so many opportunities to. This game would be extra juicy. Because it adds an extra dynamic to that Carlton Collingwood game, and also that Bulldogs Hawthorn game, because their percentage isn't as good as the Dogs. I think they're a chance in this game. But I think with Ratton essentially admitting they can't make finals from here, because they'd have to smash Sydney by a fair margin, I think, to get above Carlton's percentage, and Carlton would have to get flogged. I just think they won't really come out with the same intensity, and I think Sydney get it done. Like, they've got more to play for. The rest of the games will sort of already be done. Saints know they can't make finals. And I think they just sort of throw the towel in a bit in this game. Sydney get it done, probably finish top 2. I think they'll probably win by a bigger margin than Melbourne will beat Brisbane by. And so I think that'll see Sydney finish second. Which, I think I've picked them to finish 10th or 11th and didn't even have them in my top 8, that's for sure. So they've proved me wrong. So those are my tips for the last round of the year. Let me know which game you think is going to cause the biggest upset. And if you're enjoying, make sure you leave a comment, and I'll be back next week to see how the results went. But then I might have a bit of a break with the pre-finals bye. Catch you all later, everyone. Bye.